Hi there, everybody. My apologies for the technical difficulties this morning and for taking so much of your time for nothing. So here is just a video that will cover the content that we were going to cover earlier. So what I'm going to just be going through is some basic computer skills. So forgive me if you already have a working knowledge of Word and PowerPoint. I hope there will still be something useful in it for you. What I'm going to look at is just things that are going to help you with your assignments and things that you can use as strategies and formatting for the use of assignments within your college experience. Okay, so we're going to get started. So if you just go to your Microsoft Office, allows you access to Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all of those apps should you wish to use them. Okay, so when you click into your Word, you get an online version, and then you can choose to use a blank document, etc., or any of the templates that are laid out there. And while you're doing that, all of the formatting things are available to you. So because my internet played up so horribly so far today, I am going to use the online version. Even though it's very similar, I'm going to use the version that I have downloaded on my computer, just so that things work when I need them to work. As a fee-paying student, you have access to Microsoft Office, so that you can download it onto your devices as well. So if that's something that you want to do, so I'm just going to leave that for now. I'm going to go into the page that I have here. Okay, so it works the same as the online version. It's just hopefully I'll be able to do what I need to do on this. Okay, so when you open up a blank page, you have a number of options available to you, as you see from the top bar there and all of the other top bars that come with it. What we're going to concentrate on for today is formatting. So when it comes to formatting, how you're going to present your documents is what formatting means. And as well as the content of the assignments that you do, how you present them is important, because it allows for all of the good work that you've done within the document to be showcased correctly. So it's like making sure that a present is wrapped and wrap well. So this is the wrapping, as it were. So there is a little bit of up here we have text, and so font, which is the typeface, which there are a million different versions of, as you see there. And here is the size. So just so when we have our text, as you see there, by highlighting it, right-clicking and dragging across, we can change the font into different versions. Different types of writing are available to us. There is a leaning towards Times New Roman in academia as a more academic form of font than these playful little things here. So Times New Roman is good practice in order to get into it. It's the font that you're going to have to do your research projects and things in. So you may as well just get used to using it for your academic pieces. It just makes it look a little bit more proper. So we're going to choose Times New Roman for that. I've asked for size 12 because it's generally a standard size. And again, if you want to do headings and you want to put them in a larger font, then that's fine. Consistency is key. So if you're using a number of subheadings throughout any piece that you're doing for college, just make sure all of your subheadings are the same size, all of your font is the same size for your main body, and if there are any variations in size or whatever, that you correct them, because it makes it look well. So I've asked for size 12, which is here. And when I say size 12, I mean for the main body of your text, which is the main piece of writing. Headings and subheadings can be in different font size. It's up to you. Okay, should you wish to make it bold, then that's available to you there. So if you're using subheadings again and you wanted to bold it, there is no requirement to bold your references or citations as you go down through your piece. It makes it look a little bit more untidy. If you wanted to present your quotes in italics, and again, that's a personal choice, it's not a requirement, or you wanted things to stand out in that way, that is that button there. And if you wanted to underline things, that's available to you there also. So they're just some formatting options, and we're going to do things. So I'm just going to move on to the page where I've taken some copy and pasted some text from a piece onto, and because I want to show you something. So it is wise, just check here. So we are Times New Roman size 12, and I've asked for 1.5 line spacing, which is here. Okay, so that is the presentation of your document. Here you'll see that as I finish a paragraph, there's a gap before the next one. Again, personal choice, but if that's something that you want to do, you can have it by adding a space before or after a paragraph and it'll do it for you, or you can simply enter and skip a line in order to present it. When you are doing this piece, if you see that all of the sides are finishing in different places, which is fine, but it's a little bit more untidy. If you look at any book that you have at home or newspapers, you will see that they're both sides are always aligned and straight, and it tends to make your work just look a little bit better. So when you have finished your piece, just highlight it all, and then you would justify your text, which is this button here. And what that does is give you nice straight edges on both sides, and it just makes your piece look a little bit better. So it's just a little tip or trick to allow you to do that. When, as I said, I have asked for a specific type of formatting, Times New Roman size 12, 1.5 spacing, and it is pretty standard for assignments. So unless you're asked for something different, I just get into the habit of using that for all of them. So if we go to your Moodle page and you scroll down, I have put here just under the CA brief, an assignment and declaration sheet. And what that is if you open that up, it's this piece here. And when you, if you open it from Moodle and then save it to your computer as your assignment template sheet, what this means is that this is a plagiarism declaration sheet, and this should accompany all of your assignments for all of your work, regardless of whether or not they're asked. It's good practice to get into the habit of using them, and they are required. So what this is I'll just show you here. It declares that the work that you've done in the course of your assignment is your own work, and anything that isn't, you've been cited and referenced it. So it's an anti-plagiarism declaration to show that you haven't used other people's work and passed them off as your own. So it is just pretty standard, but that should accompany all of your assignments. What I suggest you do is open it up open up the document from Moodle and then save it as assignment template. And then when you have that on your own computer, you can fill in your name, your student number and your year, because they're not going to change until next year, and save that as your template. And then whenever you have an assignment, all you'll have to fill in is lecturer module name and date of submission. For your signature, you can use an electronic signature or just type it, because of the situation that we're in at the moment, we can't give a proper signature unless you have a scanner, etc. So typed signature will be accepted for now, or if you wanted to, if you have a write-on version on your phone or tablet, then you could potentially save your signature and use that and date. Now I've added a second page onto that assignment, and that second page has been set up in the formatting that I've asked for, so Times New Roman size 12, line and a half spacing, etc. But just check that it hasn't changed from your computer, and save that as your assignment template. As you get assignments, then you can open them up and fill them out on this document and then save as. So rather than saving the document, you would save it as whatever the assignment is. So you would save the initial document as your template, and then every time you open it up to start an assignment, press save as instead, because that saves your template and saves a copy of it for your assignment. I would also suggest that sorry, I'm going to go back to the other piece of paper because this is a read-only document. So if I go back to my piece of paper here, I would also suggest that just for good practice, you would have a header where you would put your name and your student number, and perhaps if you wanted the course or module, but if you just put your name and student number and save that as a header, it means that it will be on all of your assignments. So save that as part of your template also. And you can also insert page numbers down the bottom, which are always a good idea and handy to get used to, especially as you move into higher years in study, and your pieces will be getting longer. So you can put your page numbers at the bottom of the page. You can choose whichever you want, wherever you want to place them, either side or whatever. But just are useful to have, especially if your lecturer prints out your work. Then should the pages get messed up or dropped in any way, shape or form, you have page numbers in all of your work. Your name and your student number is on everything. So it's always just a good idea. So if you put your page numbers in, then your piece of work is set up like that for your template. So if you do that on the assignment declaration sheet, then it will have the declaration sheet. You can write your assignment from the second page. You will have a header on it with your name and your student number, and you can put in page numbers, etc., which is always just useful. This piece of writing I've taken from a journal article, which is Professionalisation of Social Care in Ireland. And this article can be found on Google Scholar if you Google the title. It's draft only, so it's not for citation, and I can't find the printed version, so I'm not sure if it has actually come to print yet. I would assume that it has. But if you wanted to use it as part of your assignment, then I will allow you to reference it as IT Sligo. And the rest of the details the same. You can put no date for the year. Okay. This piece of work is like any other journal. And when you are in academic study, there is a lot of reading sometimes to do, or if you want to do well and add to your assignments, then there is a requirement to read outside of class, etc., and make sure that you're increasing your knowledge all of the time. So sometimes that means that you're faced with a piece of work that in this case is 11 pages, and that you aren't always sure until you've read it whether or not it's of any use to you. So something that's useful, that I found useful over the course of having to read while studying, is if you press Control and F on a keyboard. Now I realise you may not all be using computers, and I'm not sure if there is a search bar on a phone version. But Control and F on a computer keyboard will bring up this little navigation search bar. And if you can narrow what you're looking for to keywords, then it allows you to skip read through the article to see if there's anything of use to you. So say, for instance, I wanted to find out if there's anything about service users in this. So I can put service users in here, and you'll see here that it brings up the two pieces in the document where service users are mentioned. So I can read just those two pieces to see if that's of any use to me. If I'm looking for a quote, say on diversity, I can Google that, and I can see that there's only one mention for diversity, and that's not the form of information that I need. So if you can narrow your search down to keywords, then it will mean that you can look through a document an awful lot quicker and potentially find something that might be find out if it's going to be of interest to you. So it works on documents that you have on your computer. It works on documents on the internet in the same way. It brings up a little search bar. And if you search quotes or keywords, then it will show you where they appear within the document. And it just means that sometimes you can go through a document a little bit quicker to see if it's of any use to you, and then you can read it properly. It's just something I found quite useful. And something else which was also quite useful, if I go back to the Word document that I was working on. So if I've taken a piece of text from a quote from the internet, I might have written something here in terms of social care practice, and I think I need a little bit more on that. So if I highlight and right click on that, it'll bring up here Smart Lookup. Okay, so it's within the Word, within Word itself. And if I go into Smart Lookup, it'll bring up a sidebar, and in that sidebar it'll bring you different internet searches that may give you some additional information on that. So I can have look at some of these if I think that they might be useful, or if I find a piece of text within a document that I'm reading that I need to, or would like to find out more on, I can highlight them, I can right click, and I can use Smart Lookup, and it'll bring me to it. The other thing that's useful for is if I have taken a quote and I'm not quite sure of the meaning of a word, so say trajectory here, I can again go to Smart Lookup for that, and it'll bring up a definition for it so that I can clarify what it means without you leaving, here we go, trajectory, without leaving the Word document itself. So it tends to be just a little bit more user-friendly because you don't have to skip from here to Google to back to here. Okay. So they're just a couple of things that I found were quite useful in terms of those. Then, as I said, if you've used your template document to write your assignment, always save as, so that your template remains where it is, or save a couple of different templates, and then you choose where it is that you want to put it, name it so that you can find it, and save it onto your device, or your if you're saving it to your OneDrive, then that's the same. Okay, I think that should get you through your assignments. If there's any questions or anything, please come back to me. I'd be happy to expand on things, or find out more information for you if that's what you need. But those things should get you started for sure. Practice with them, have a little play about, see how things work. It's very difficult to break a computer, even though I've been having trouble with them this week, but it's very difficult to break a computer. So just try out all of the different functions, try out what they mean, do a little bit of looking around yourself, and you'll find that it's quite useful. So you may just find that it is something that will be useful to you. So when you're looking at journals, that smart lookup is quite useful in order to find the texts that are. So if I'm reading this document and I find that, you know what, this sociology of the professions is what I'm doing an assignment on, and here is a really good source for that. So if I highlight that and right click, then it'll bring me to the articles themselves, hopefully. So you might have to do a little bit of looking through to make sure that you're getting the right one, but it'll bring you to associated ones, and it's quite useful. Okay, so any questions, bring them to me in the next class. Once again, I apologize for the difficulties that we had earlier, and if there's anything else that you want me to go over, please let me know. All right. I will do a separate video now for PowerPoint, and then I'll put up the 2 links on Moodle page. Thank you.